I am Angel Woodrum.
And I'm Jeremy Blumenthal.
And we are Purple Clay Farm.
And we are growing here in High Point, North Carolina. We're a small-scale diversified organic vegetable farm. If you want to start a farm and you've never worked at a farm before, then you should go work at a farm first. I really do think that part of our success that we've had so far is that we have so much experience working at farms before. I've been working at farms for 8 years. You've been working at farms for 7 years. We have combined a lot of experience and working at different farms and farms that, have done things really well that I can learn from, and farms that have done things not as well that I can also learn from their mistakes. And so I do see a lot of people trying to they'll work one season at a farm and then just get excited and be like, oh, I have money for land or whatever, I'm gonna go start my own farm. And you're just I don't know, you're kind of playing on the back foot the entire time like that, because you just don't have this solid base of knowledge to start you off. And farming, once you get into the thick of the season, you don't have time to stop and be oh, I need to reassess my systems. You're no, this is what I got, it's working okay right now, I just got to get through it. So not having that solid base of being able to set up good systems that, again, we learn from other farms that have been really successful, is definitely, it's just a mistake I see people make. And it's you've got to work at a good farm for at least a couple seasons, really see everything through and learn through that model. YouTube farming, I think, is kind of a popular thing, and you'll see one farmer do something that looks really cool on YouTube, and then you'll want to go do that, and that stuff is awesome. I love spreading knowledge, positive knowledge on the internet, but there's just you cannot learn that way. You have to be there doing it. I can watch a video to teach me how to efficiently pick, harvest kale, but the only reason I'm as good and efficient at it is because I've harvested 10,000 bunches of kale in my life. And that experience is that is really where a lot of the margins come from. You can do things have a grand picture, but if you don't know how to harvest those 100 bunches of kale fast, if it's going to take you 2 hours longer than it should, then that's going to be a huge part of your profit margins that you're losing, because that's all those labor hours that you're spending to do something that you should have learned how to do more efficiently. So, long-winded way of saying, if you want to start a farm, you got to work at farm first.
Yeah, you can read books and things, and a lot of popular farming literature comes out of Canada, which is very different than North Carolina climate. And so you just learn a lot more specific climate things and soil practices in your area, to really dig into the place-based of farming.
Incubator farms are amazing programs. They don't exist everywhere, but for instance, out towards Durham, in that area, we have both farmed in that area, and there's an incubator farm out there. It's maybe 6 acres or so that you can rent out a certain amount of acreage per year. And I don't remember exactly how much it is, but it's a very reasonable amount. You're not paying more than $100 a month, if that, for that kind of thing. And then you have a greenhouse there that's ready to go. You have a cooler there and a wash and pack station there. So incubator farms are one of the biggest things. If you have one in your area and you want to farm, that is the best thing you can do. A lot of them will have equipment there, tractors or BCS or whatever that you can use. And you basically just have to invest in seeds and fertilizer and irrigation supplies, and which comes out to some money, but not nearly as much as investing in land and all that.
I also think just knowing market wise, knowing your area, what are the popular farmers markets around, what else are people growing in my area, visit your farmers market before, maybe in your planning business phase of starting a farm, definitely just scoping things out and seeing what would make sense for you to do, and talking with market managers, or if you want to do restaurant, wholesale, things like that, just kind of get that lay of the land before you invest a lot of time, money, resources into being a farm. And then always factor in your own labor costs. Even if you're not able to pay yourself $30 an hour, say that's a goal that you have, always keep that in mind and be I want to be able to make a living wage off of this, or I want to make more than a living wage off of this, and I really want to set myself up to be able to do this for 20, 30 years. Really think about that and value yourself, because I think it's business owners, I know we felt this even just in the few months we've been doing this, is we'll come home and be okay, we're having a peanut butter sandwich for dinner, because we just don't have the time. And so really trying to be how can I, if I'm not able to pay myself in the next, year of doing this, but I am able to like keep the business afloat, make sure you're taking care of yourself in other ways so that you can get to a point where you're able to like financially pay yourself, because it's still a job. I think like some business owners have, an idea that like as long as the business is alive, I'm good, but it's like you need to be good as well because you are the one doing that work. And I think farming's like pretty notorious for that as well. So definitely just trying to like tell people like you can make money doing this, and like you need to like take care of yourself. Like you wouldn't work for someone else and not be paid. So yeah, I think that's a very important lesson for people.
You can make a good bit of money selling vegetables. It's kind of crazy, but but you really can. If you're not factoring in like buying the land, like let's say you already own like some amount of land and a backyard, like similar to size what we're growing on, like you can definitely turn a profit like within a couple of years doing it. Like even if we had to invest in some of the machinery and some of the infrastructure that we didn't have to, like that still is something that probably by the end of the year we would be able to pay off. It's obviously a lot of kind of ridiculously hard work sometimes and a lot of mental anguish, but at the end of the day, it's something that you can make a living doing and something that's meaningful and impactful.